All right, let's do this. It is Saturday, March 14th. We are going to look at all 30 of the Dow components. This will give you a good overview of what the global markets are doing because these are global international companies. Uh, Again, some of them will be bullish, some of them will be bearish. There's been a lot of disparity in the Dow recently. Keep that in mind. And also keep in mind the momentum trends. I'm going to try and highlight those. And yeah, let's start with A for Apple. So, I also one other thing, keep in mind that we have 12 trading days left in the month. So this is important. So, we're halfway through. But yeah. So Apple down $14, 5% to 250. Note that where Apple is. Apple's basically sitting on the 10 MA. That's kind of an important MA to me. Not to everyone, but some people realize it's important. Momentum. Look at this. Momentum is going to turn negative either before the end of the month or no later than April the 1st. This is bearish as hell. Look at the last time it turned bearish. Oh yeah, look at that. April of 2025. Momentum then ticked down for another 3 months. Apple went from 258 to 168, right? It's $90. $90. Maybe we should just take off $90 off 288. That would give us what? 198. Yeah, that would get us down to, oh, look at that. Isn't that interesting? That would get us down to around there. Yeah. We're looking at $200, right? To me, that's pretty straightforward. Easy target. 200. Moving on. AMGN. New historic high. But even AMGN, which has had a really good run from last April's low of well, actually, the May low was slightly lower, 253. But yeah, AMGN, it's actually momentum's not rolled over yet, but it will. Amazon, king of retail, down for the fourth month of 5. It's only down 1%, but look, momentum's increasingly negative. It's broken. American Express, a key stock. I keep highlighting this in the past week, but nobody cares. I'm the only one that does. Anyone that gives a damn about this one. Spiky candle, December, January, February. We're down 2.9% on the month. Yeah, we could bounce. We could even bounce up to the 10 MA and back test it. That's tolerable, but I would still be looking for a broader downside to at least currently low ball into 238. Momentum turned negative in February. Momentum's got to weaken into April. That's another bearish as hell stock. Bearish defense. Boeing, multi-year chop, down 7% on the month. Momentum prone to turning negative in April. Caterpillar had an insanely strong run from last April, 263, 789. What an incredible run. But yeah, spiky candle in February. It's down 6.5%. Momentum has just started to tick lower. Bearish with the main market. Salesforce. Chop, 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 chop. Breaks down. It's down 1% on the month. Sure, it could bounce up to 200, even 220. Still bearish though. Zero sign of a turn. Midterm bearish into April. CSCO. Major spiky candle in February. It's cooling back. 1.4% down. Momentum kind of rolled over in December. It's very subtle, but you can see it's probably going to accelerate into April and perhaps May. It is one stock that does suggest the main market's going to be weak, not just in April, but May as well. Maybe into June as well. I mean, clearly it's not even turned negative yet, so it's a long way to go on this one. Chevron, new historic high, clearly due to oil printing 119 and sustainably around 100, up 5%, zero sign of a turn, bullish. Disney, down 6% on the month. Been midterm bearish from last June, 123. Momentum has turned negative, bearish into April. I guess you could say that what's the downside target? Lower Bollinger, which is what, 88? Yeah. So yeah, basic target. In fact, there's a gap down to 91. So bearish to 91, 88 area. Goldman Sachs, one of the strongest financials out there. Spiky candle in January, spiky in February, bearish engulfing candle in February. Look at this. We're breaking down. We're down 8.5% on the month. We're just fractionally under the 10 MA. Next support, maybe 760, maybe actually 655 area. Momentum, look, at the current rate, momentum will turn negative as of April the 1st. Very bearish financials. Home Depot, nasty, down 10% on a month. Note the little spiky candle in February was a sell signal. Momentum's a bit of a mess, but it's been negative since last March actually. It's been struggling. Again, this is the consumer. The consumer is broken. The average person is broken. You know, the mainstream want to pretend that everything's fine, and the reality is, Home Depot has been struggling for actually look, it's been struggling. The stock itself has been struggling since it rolled over in January of 22, and yeah, it had a little pop to a new historic high, but broadly, it's chop. Bearish Home Depot, Honeywell, new historic high, but even this one's rolled over now. Momentum hasn't rolled over yet, but the stock has. Bearish for the main market. IBM, 2.5% up on the month, but you know, massive top smashed in February, and you can even see actually they bounced it and they've cut the gains in half already. Momentum turned negative in February, bearish into April, probably May. J&J, new historic high, but another one that's rolled over. Momentum hasn't rolled over yet, but it's going to, right? Net bearish for the main market. JP Morgan, look at this. It's another key financial, maybe my favorite financial actually. January, new historic high, spiky in February. We have a clear and decisive break of 10 MA, down 5% on the month. We're going down. Momentum has turned negative this month. It's clearly going to go down into April, maybe May, June as well. Absolutely bearish. Soft target is around 250. Lower Bollinger offers 198, call it $200, which is back to the April low. Yeah, it's kind of ironic. Most people don't even notice. Coca-Cola, down 4.5%. Momentum is on the high end due to rollover. McDonald's, down 3.7%. Actually, it did break. I think that's the new historic high, right? Yeah, it was 40 cents. 40 cents above the February high. So new historic high, but even this one's rolled over. Momentum is about to roll over. 3M. February candle, new strike high, but very spiky. And even this key Dow component is now down 8.7%. Momentum has turned negative. This is very bearish. This is a sell signal. There it is. It literally is a sell signal. There it is. Plain as it can be, but hardly anybody notices or cares. All right. It's going down. Merck, another top quality healthcare company, down 6.5%. Momentum is not yet rolling over, but it's going to. Bearish for the main market. Microsoft doesn't have to go down every month, right? It's absolutely midterm bearish. It's currently up 0.7%. Alarm bells. If this is one to watch. Note the 50 monthly average of 365. If this goes under 365, that would break the 50 MA, which it didn't do last April, which it didn't do in November of 2022, which it didn't do in the COVID low of March 2020. This stock, I'm the only one saying this. Literally, I am the only one. If we go under the 50 MA at 365, that merits alarm bells. What are we looking at then? 207, right? 207 would be the next, would be the natural target. You take out that little green line, 207, the low from November, I guess it would be early November of 2022. Well, 207 is almost 50% down. What are the implications? What are the implications for the Nasdaq and the S&P? You can extrapolate. This is very important. Probably the most important thing I'll say in this video. Moving on. Nike. Yeah, it tried to build a floor, failed, down 12.5% this month in the 53s. Basic target is the April 51s. That's clearly not going to hold. And if we actually go out a little bit further, the next support, you see the 55s there from look at that. The COVID low. The COVID low was 55. And we're under that. So what's the next low? 45 from October of 2017. A lot of support 45s. I will say the stock charts computer has a P and F chart target of 42. And I certainly agree with the direction. I could see Nike 45, 40 bucks within the next month or so. So yeah, they try to rally it, but nope, fail. So bearish Nike. Moving on. Oh my God, here we go. NVDA, of course. Oh, almost don't want to highlight this one, but hey, it's a Dow component. So NVIDIA's up 1.7% for the month. And yeah, you could draw some kind of downtrend there, maybe a floor there. You could even argue it's a bullish pennant. I don't know. I don't like it. I would say, look, it's under the 10 MA. You can see the sellers are coming out there. Momentum has turned negative. That is a sell signal. Just like you had a sell signal in March of last year. And you saw what happened in April of last year, right? There was your sell signal in March of last year, and yet April, and then NVIDIA went down to 86. My basic target is roughly 150. Moving on. P&G, down roughly 10%. Momentum was ticking up, but we have a stall. It's a clear stall. Bearish for the main market. Sherwin-Williams, chemicals, paints, down 11.5%. Another company that most people would never look at, but hey, I do. It's part of the job. Tried to tick upwards. It's reversed. It's another stall. Bearish for the main market. Travelers, new historic high, 311.98. But even this one, this super strong company is leaning weak because of the main market. Momentum remains marginally positive. Might turn negative in April, but more likely in May. United Health down 3%. A lot of chop. I mean, technically it's midterm broken, of course, under the 10 MA. Momentum is still ticking upwards, but you can see the rate of recovery is kind of stalling. And if you assume S&P is going to go down to at least 6,100, if not 5,500, then this price threshold around what 210 is looks pretty easy. Visa. Visa's been a problem since last year. It's been very gradual though. It's not like it's been collapsing. It's just been kind of a lot of chop, but leaning on the weaker side. So if you note the January candle, bearish engulfing, that played out, and we're currently down 4% on the month, 307s. Basic targets the lower Bollinger 275. Momentum straight down, no sign of a floor, bearish Visa. Verizon, very impressive. Actually, probably the most impressive Dow component out there. Powerful ramp from the 37s in October to a near strike high, 51.67, up 2.5% on the month. No sign of a turn, zero. I guess it is overbought on a monthly chart, 71. Momentum, zero sign of a turn. It's probably the most bullish Dow component out there right now. There's a lot to be said for a really big, boring communications stock. And finally, we have Walmart. So February new strike high. It's been pretty subdued this month actually, down 1%. Momentum is vulnerable to rolling over. We're on the high end, there's no question about that. Okay, let's have a quick look at the Dow before we hit the off button, I guess. Daily chart. The Dow did not quite close under the 200-day on Friday. It's close though. Short term, we're oversold RSI. Look at this. RSI 27. This is the most oversold since April. The Trump tariff low, right? Which was 36,000. So we're prone to bouncing, and I would be open-minded to a little bit of upside, even to test the 50-day, perhaps. Again, if we don't hold that on Monday, then target is 45, which is 1,500 points down. It's roughly 3.5%, 4%. Some perspective. Weekly chart, we are lower for the fourth week of 5. Last week's candle offers zero sign of a floor. Not oversold. Yeah. I mean, look, no sign of a floor there, is there? And some perspective on the monthly chart. Yeah, so for the month, with 12 trading days left of the month, Dow's down 2,400 points, almost 5%. We're actually just under the 10 MA, and momentum's due to turn negative either just before the end of the month or certainly no later. Momentum will turn negative as of April the 1st. I cannot overemphasize how important that is. The last time that happened was April of last year. Oh, look at that. See what happened. It amuses me how naive many are. Or just don't want to hear it. This is what happened. The last time that momentum turned negative was last April. The Dow and the main market got smacked. Oh, look at that. There's that 50 MA that I was babbling about in Microsoft. And that's currently around 38,000, which is 8,000 down, which is about what? What's that? 16, 17%, right? Yeah, roughly. It's bearish candle there. There's nothing good there. Momentum's got to turn negative as of April the 1st. That's that's not pretty. Every time momentum turns negative, that's a sell signal. So the Dow's going to give you a sell signal officially as of April the 1st. It might even do it on Monday morning, maybe not until April the 1st, but it's going to do it soon. It will do it no later than, in theory, April the 1st. And then natural target would be, low Bollinger, 39,000. Anyway, a few things to consider there. And regardless, however Monday opens, the bigger charts are telling you the market faces a problem into April, just like last April. And it is amusing how many people seem completely oblivious. They don't care. And on that somewhat snarky note, have a good weekend.